It is so much simpler to go after a huge goal than it is to go after a small one. If you want to double your income, double your company's revenue, there's really only one or two paths that will get you there. If you want to grow by 10%, if you want a 10% raise, there's a lot of different things you can do. We are afraid to say we want something big because we think it's harder, but actually it's easier. It's so much less distracting when there's only one or maybe two ways to get there. My name is Matt Gerlach, and welcome to Matters of the Mind, Rise to Your Worth. I work with entrepreneurs and executives who are achieving outstanding results, but are held back by anxiety, and it's keeping them from reaching their maximum potentials. I help people reach their maximum profit, their maximum freedom, and their maximum impact. I just read a book called 10x is Easier Than 2x. It's by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Harris, and this book changed my life. I was at a mastermind event in Nashville a couple of weeks ago and sitting around a table with a bunch of my peers, and everybody recommended this book. They said it was life-changing. So I listened to them, and I listened to this book, actually. It was a great audiobook, and I'm surprised, but I found myself listening to it again. The concept of the book is counterintuitive. You would think that it's so much easier to just improve a little bit, to save a little bit of money, to lose a little bit of weight, to grow your income a little bit. But the book challenges that and says it's actually a lot easier when you have a huge goal, a 10x goal versus a 2x goal. If you're running a business and you want to 10x your revenue, how many ways are there to get there? There's probably only one or two. You're going to have to look at everybody who's on your team. You're going to have to look at your customer base. You're going to have to look at the products you're offering, the profitability that comes from those products. If you want to lose 50 pounds, for example, how many ways are there for you to get there? You're going to have to revamp your whole lifestyle. It's going to mean a huge change in your diet plan, your exercise plan, who you're hanging out with, your overall nutrition. Are you going to bed early? Are you sitting on the couch and being tempted by old habits? You're changing everything about your life so you can reach this massive goal. This book was really impactful for me, and it's why I'm listening to it again. David, my partner of 12 years, and I were talking last night. We are on our surrogacy journey right now. We are becoming parents, and everything in our life is changing. This is a massive undertaking, obviously, financially. This is about $250,000 investment. Not many people understand how expensive surrogacy is. Also, I'm 41 years old. I am a tad bit older than I planned on being if I started a family, and I'm concerned. I want to be around for a very long time. And I'm making some really big changes to the way I treat my body, so I will be around for the next 50 years so I can see my daughter grow up. David is launching his first business right now, a cookie business. He has some massive goals. There's a hole in the market that he's realized that he's trying to go after. I have started my new business, coaching entrepreneurs and executives. I also do consulting work for startup businesses that are growing really fast and need help. I have 15 years of entrepreneurial experience, and I am super excited about this new venture. There is so much in our life that is changing, and there is a lot of volatility going on right now. And we have a huge financial obligation right now with all that's going on in our lives. At dinner last night, as we were talking, David said to me, these changes that we're going through aren't just small changes. They are ending one chapter of a life and starting a new one. And to succeed at these, there are so many changes we're having to make in our life to make this all a reality. And it's exciting. Now, all of this comes with stress, with worrying, with anxiety even. And I'm surprised, but I'm managing this impeccably. It's not that I don't feel those emotions. It's not that I am not worried from time to time. But I keep reminding myself that emotions, whether they're positive ones like happiness, joy, or negative ones like worrying or anxiety or stress, they are emotions and they will pass. And I'm proving to myself that I am able to manage them. I'm able to handle them. Financial safety is very important to me. I like to feel safe. I don't want to be in a situation one day where I don't have enough money to afford the luxuries that I have, that I don't have enough money in case Bruno happens to need another back surgery again. I don't want money to limit what I'm able to do with my life. And I wouldn't say that I'm worrying right now, but I am strategizing. I am continuously thinking about my finances, mine and David's finances. We met with our financial advisor recently to really understand the situation that we are in financially. And I am a huge advocate of getting to know your numbers, whether it be in your business or your personal life. For me, I have been surprised that normally when I am ruminating or if I'm in my mind too much, once I learn my numbers, the numbers are usually better than what I'm imagining them in my mind. And it's been incredibly liberating to get a grasp on the numbers, get a grasp on the facts. And even if they aren't great, it still is important for you to know where you're at so you can strategize how you want to improve them, how you want to change them. For me, I have been really thinking about what I want for myself financially, what I want for my business. I have created this mentorship business, and it's really exciting to be able to create a business and make this the way that I want it to be. Over the past few weeks, I've realized that I really get to make this business into anything that I want it to be. I get to decide how many hours I want to work. I get to decide whether I want to be marketing like on this podcast, whether I want to be sharing my lessons through written word, whether I want to be making TikTok videos. I get to decide this. I get to choose what works for me. I get to decide if I want to aim to build a business where there's a team that's supporting me, how big that team is, what sort of activities I want to do, what sort of activities I want to try to get help with. I get to decide that. I really want to be writing, and I want to be podcasting, and I want to be out there speaking, and I want to be sharing my message with the world so I could help a much broader audience. I get to decide that, and that's my 10x vision. I've laid out this plan for my personal and for my business life, and the book really rings true. There aren't a whole lot of different ways that I could approach this. I definitely need to change a lot of aspects of my life so I can make this dream into my reality. These past few weekends, I really had to forego a lot of social plans so I can keep my head down because I want to have this running pretty smoothly by the time David and I have our daughter. Along with that, I have been incredibly diligent, more diligent than usual over these past few weeks about getting to bed early and waking up consistently early so I have that time in the morning that I can work on my business. I love reading almost more than anything, and I've had to forgo some of my reading time so I can work on my business. I love working out, and I still am exercising because I realized that is very important to me to keep my mind and my body sharp, but I'm having to do it a lot more efficiently. Sometimes I just go for a really short, high-intensity run so I can focus on my business and get this going faster and start bringing my dreams into more of a reality. Along with that, I have to be really careful to treat my body and my mind well. I don't want to expose myself to negativity. There's a lot of volatility going on in our lives, and I'm having to be really careful in how I manage my worrying, how I manage my stress. And I'm doing a lot more yoga these days. I'm really seeing that that's helping me stay calm and stay grounded and get out of my head and into my body. I'm really listening to what I need. I'm observing what's working and what's not working. I'm tracking results. I'm seeing what efforts are turning into results and what efforts aren't. I'm continuously modifying. I'm asking for help. I have a lot of coaches and mentors who help me on a weekly basis, but I take my own advice. I can't read the label from inside the jar either, and I've been really asking for David to give me input on certain activities and how I'm managing my time, and it's really helped. I really believe in being vulnerable during times like this and asking our loved ones and our trusted advisors for feedback and taking that feedback to heart. And I don't necessarily listen to every single thing that I'm told, but I do consider it. And honestly, over these past few days, I've seen so much improvement by continuously talking about this with people and trying to get their input on what it is I'm doing and what I could be doing better. This is all part of 10X right now. I have a really big goal, and there's not a lot of different paths that are going to lead me there. And it's really pushing me, and I'm seeing these results happen, and it's really exciting. I started thinking a lot about fear and how fear holds us back. Right now, I could totally be scared. There's so much unknown. There are really two different ways that I could be thinking about this right now. One would be, Matt, so many people have tried big, audacious things like what you're trying and failed. Or I could be thinking about it the other way and look at the people who have achieved what I've wanted to achieve and be inspired by them. I was listening to this podcast this morning and it really energized me. I surround myself right now during this time that I'm trying to achieve these massive goals with positivity. I don't want to be around the negativity right now. I want to be inspired by people who are doing things that are amazing. I want to be inspired by people who are doing things that a lot of people would say are impossible. On this podcast, this guy was saying that one of his superpowers in life is that he just pushes for something. When there's a goal that he's going for, he just keeps trying and eventually he gets there. He fails many times, but those are all lessons. We need to let go of the timeline expectation and just keep doing our best each day. And eventually we're going to get there. We will get there if we want to. This whole 10x is easier than 2x thing has really impacted me because I'm seeing that I'm setting this goal that's honestly bigger than anything I've ever set before in my entire life, and I'm going to achieve it. There is no doubt in my mind that I'm going to achieve it. I'm looking at my business right now as I'm growing it right now, and I'm seeing what sort of resources I need. I'm spending money to make money right now, and this is something I really haven't had to do before. And it's weird. It's weird to invest. Everywhere I turn, it feels like there's another $5,000 that's being asked of me. I need to just keep believing in myself. You need to just keep believing in yourself. As high achievers, as entrepreneurs and executives, we have a lot of stress. We have a lot of pressure that's on us. And we just need to keep remembering that we are the CEOs. We are the people in charge. And we are going to figure this out because we have to. We have to figure it out. And it might take longer than what we think. That is why we have a cushion. We don't bet it all on red. We need to make sure that we're making wise decisions, calculated decisions that aren't tied to a timeline so quickly, because that's a recipe for disaster. That's a whole different story. If you have questions about that, I'm an entrepreneur with 15 years of experience and I've been consulting for the past 8 years. Give me a call. I would be happy to help you with that decision. But we need to make those bets on ourselves. We need to trust that we will continue to turn lemons into lemonade. That's what people do. There are no guarantees in life. And we can spend our time worrying about it, or we can spend our time acting. We can spend our time doing what needs to be done to make our goals a reality. For me, I'm taking care of myself better than I've ever taken care of myself before. I am becoming more strategic by the day. I am batching my work so I'm not constantly switching gears. I'm asking for help. I am looking to my mentors. I'm looking to my coaches. I am talking to anybody who will listen and trying to get advice. I'm coming to them with specific questions, learning from people who have done it before. When I look back to a week ago, there were a few moments that I started to feel hopeless. And I talked to my coach about it, and he gave me some great advice. He said, you need to start feeling like you're progressing. You need to be making progress. And that got me thinking about things a lot differently. I can't be trying to do a little bit of everything every day. I don't doubt that what I was doing before was working. It is my mindset. It is my heart, my body, my brain. I needed to start seeing progress because that's what I needed to keep going. What I needed to keep going that day was to be making progress. I needed to feel, I needed to take care of myself so I could keep being motivated to keep going. What we need every day, what we need every week, it's going to keep changing, and we need to be honest about that. We need to be asking for help. We need to be introspective so we can be strategic, so we can keep driving towards our results. We're going to need to adapt. We're going to need to make changes. Going out drinking that night hindered the next day of progress. Well, let's not do that next week because we need to be productive all the time. Going to the gym makes my mind function better. Well, let's make sure we're doing that every day. We have the tools. We are strategists. We can make this happen. I'm going to leave you there today. I want to just thank you for joining me. I want to let you know that if you're struggling right now, if you feel overwhelmed, you feel anxious, this is normal. We are trying to achieve almost impossible things, but I believe in you. You will be able to do this. Just keep surrounding yourself with positivity. Don't be around people who are negative when you are trying to achieve a huge, audacious goal. Thank you for listening. If you would be so kind as to leave me a comment, I would really appreciate it. And if you have a friend, an entrepreneur, an executive that might benefit from listening to this, if you shared it with them, I would be so grateful.